Man, I'm looking at like the ins and outs from the Knicks since December 30th. I mean, you trade away obviously Barrett quickly, Randle now, Hartenstein left in free agency. You trade Boyan, Alec Burks is gone, DiVincenzo's gone, along with 7 first-round picks.
Wow.
6 went to the Nets for Mikal Bridges. 1 went towards Minnesota for Cat. And yeah, you only bring in OG, Mikal, Cat, and Campaign. That's about it.
Wow.
It's big. I'm not saying those guys aren't good, but like you overpaid for a good majority of them. And if you want me, like, you know, you asked about Minnesota. Randle was not a salary dump for the Knicks because he was just the filler for, you know, he plays the same position as Cat. So you're obviously going to flip. Cat's better at the 5 than Randle.
Right.
But, you know, in the playoffs, they'll virtually be the same as a 4. But for the Wolves now, do you realize the flexibility this gives them?
That's what I'm saying.
Cat, like I said, Cat was making $220 million up until 2027 or 2028. And Randall's up for free agency at the end of next season.
Wow.
DiVincenzo's making $11 million a year. So now they have flexibility. Because this new CBA exists, the Wolves are scared of the cap. And, you know, why wouldn't they be? And to me, it just doesn't make sense to really go championship or bust with a 22-year-old Anthony Edwards. This is why they drafted Rob Dillingham. This is why they made the trade for him. Because when Anthony Edwards gets to his prime, this team can be flexible.
Yeah.
And this team, Rudy Gobert will be gone. You don't have to worry about that. And you can really just kind of build a good championship culture with and around Anthony Edwards. And I think that's so key. And like I said, with the Pacers, the Wolves either needed to trade Cat or they needed to trade both Naz Reid and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You choose depth over the star every single time. Always.
Unless it's
so like flagrantly a good player like LeBron or something like that.
Right.
But with Cat, I mean, the performances you've seen from him in the playoffs, this was a no-brainer for Minnesota. I don't blame them at all for doing this because I was really confused for the first 24 hours. And then I realized I kind of did some digging and it makes a lot of sense why they did this in the first place. And look, I think Julius Randle won't step on Ant's toes as much as Cat does.
Right.
And I think that's going to be huge for them. Wow. Obviously, the spacing is going to be awful with Rudy Gobert, but small sacrifices. You have to make those small sacrifices. It's going to really be good for Anthony Edwards and really good for their future because now they have the flexibility. They're under the second apron. And that's so important after you just gave Ant the rookie extension.
Yeah.
So
their depth is insane.
They're insane now. I mean,
like, they have Michael Conley starting, right?
It's gonna be Conley. Why am I blanking? Oh, Anthony Edwards.
Edwards.
Conley,
Jaden
McDaniels. Naz Reid at the 4. Or Julius Randle at the 4.
No, Randle at the 4.
And Rudy Gobert at the 5.
And then their second unit.
Their second unit. You got
Rob,
Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Yeah, Nickeil.
I don't know if Dillingham's going to play much as rookie
I don't think
year.
so either.
So it's going to be Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Devo.
Dante DiVincenzo now.
Right, that's insane.
Exactly.
Ingles.
Number
you have 3. Joe Ingles now
Ingles.
for spacing.
Naz Reid.
You have Naz Reid. This team has
This is a championship
West
team.
Coast Pacers, bro. I'm telling you.
Watch out, man. Watch
out for Minnesota. I'm telling you, I value depth over star power because I've experienced it now. I know what it's like. Yes, our team was going to win 10 championships if healthy, but we had no depth. Outside of once Harden got hurt, it was just a domino effect and no one else could step up. So that's really, I think that's really going to be important for the Knicks because, in any situation now, if Cat or Mikal or OG has to step up, I don't know if they necessarily can. And if they're asked to do more than they're capable of, if that makes any sense. And, outside of Deuce McBride, I don't trust anyone on that Knicks bench. There's 4 guys on that Timberwolves bench that I highly trust to score and produce in a very tough Western Conference.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Timberwolves were the clear winner in every single dimension of this trade.
I actually don't think either team won the trade.
Okay.
I think the winner of this trade is the Denver Nuggets. They have the clearest path to the finals now. Cat was the only player in that starting 5 that gave him trouble defensively.
Sure.
So now Jokic is going to be guarded by Gobert for 48 minutes.
I like that.
And
eat up.
And obviously, the winner of this trade is going to be the Brooklyn Nets, baby.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
You know damn well.
I was speaking specifically of the Cat.
You know damn well. But yeah, as far as these two teams, the Timberwolves.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
Because even if the Knicks win one championship, which they very well can, I'm not ruling them out.
I'm ruling them out.
Okay.
They have no depth. Sorry.
Even if they get one, I think it's going to be a crash out from there.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm more curious to see with these modern day super teams, I'm curious to see what the exit's like. I'm not really worried about what they do on the court. I'm worried about what the front office does to avoid the 2010s Nets. That's basically what it is. So, but I want you to kind of take the floor a little bit. You've been kind of just mediating this. Give us your thoughts on Minnesota then, since you think they won the trade.
We pretty much said everything. I think Minnesota added amazing depth. I mean, it's one player to your bench, but still that one player is huge.
Right. And
super confident.
You are losing scoring with Cat.
Yeah, I mean, not really.
You're
adding Devo in.
Right, but you're losing
Randle.
You're losing something with Cat. Like obviously Randle doesn't do exactly what Cat
No, he doesn't. Cat can space the floor much better than Randle can. Randle can space a little bit,
They
but
do both playoff droppers.
right.
But DiVincenzo's not.
I think Randle is better than we think. I genuinely think that.
I need to see it to
And I
believe
think
him in.
on this team, I think we're gonna see what Randle can really do. I think he's grown a lot since being a Knick.
Oh, absolutely.
Since having all the attention as the only good player on that team, right?
Yeah.
In years past. So I think he's grown a lot since then. I think now we're going to really see what he can do next to, an all-star, all-NBA player in Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Championship contending team for sure. And it's the Timberwolves. So
Think he'll be in the most improved conversations?
I actually do. If he's valid for it, is he?
I don't know if injured players count.
Okay, so then no.
I don't know.
If they do count, then I think he'll be up there.
Yeah.
But I think Devo is huge, man. Huge
That's the
player.
luxury piece, man.
Telling you. On that Bucks team where he was coming off the bench, huge for that team.
Well, he got hurt in their first playoff game. They won
I
the
know.
championship without him.
I know, but still.
Yeah.
Still.
Even when he played on the Warriors 2 years ago, he
Yeah.
was coming up big for them.
Yeah.
So definitely a very complicated trade.
Yeah.
Because both teams will contend this year. Both teams will contend next year. What happens in 2027? What happens in 2028? That's really the main sort of question marks here.